So, in the varnashram system, the Vaishyas, they're able. There's the profit motive is there. Otherwise, they become lazy. But they have to support everybody else. There's a high taxation they have to give in charity. That's it's incumbent upon them. Um, they are the economic engines of society. So everybody else, has to be. They have to take care of them. They have to support them. You know, and everybody has their value and their place. And so the asuras, they don't like that thing because it limits how much they can control, how much they can dominate. If one person could control the whole world, that would be great. If they And so they feel that their abilities are being inhibited by that. They can't achieve their full purpose in life. And so that so what happens is that they view, like, the asuras. It's interesting, right? Because Krishna is the all powerful, and he's the source of everything. I mean, this is the difference between Krishna and all other beings. Is that Krishna is also the source of all being. He has the primordial energies of existence, now cognizance and bliss. Those are his energies. So Krishna not only can control what's existing, but he can decide what exists and what doesn't. He could make a whole different universe, a whole different, there's universes, right? And he could create a whole different reality if he wanted to. There's no problem with that. He is that much more powerful than any other being. But the asuras, the demons, Prabhupada usually translates them. They understand that the Lord is the most powerful. Right? They're the heavyweight champion. He's the heavyweight champion of the world. But they don't think that he's all powerful and the source of everything. So therefore, they think it's possible, that they could take over. He has the ability to be killed. So that's how they can become his enemy and decide to try to fight with him. And so when they look at the situation, they see the kind of network that's set up, the interdependency that the Vedic system sets up. They see it as a support system. I think if the modern word they would use is that it's a mafia, right? Because you see on the different levels all this cooperation and interdependency, right? You have the devas, who are generally the ones who directly fight. It's only on exceptional occasions when there's a demon who's so powerful that the Lord has to step in, that they generally handle so much of the administrative functions of the material universe, and they fight with the asuras, and so they do a lot of work, a lot of the leg work for Lord Vishnu, or Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and then the human beings, they perform sacrifices. And he mentioned in the purport that the sages, they're instructing people in these things, and so they're performing sacrifices which benefit the devas, and the devas in return, they reciprocate. This is in the Gita, right? The devas benefit from the sacrifice, and they then help the human beings. And of course the devas are working under the orders of the Supreme Lord. They're carrying out their duties as instructed and set up by him, and so they're serving him. And then whenever there's a problem, the Lord shows up and helps them. So they see it like a network. And so you see sometimes when the asuras are attacking, they use a form of total warfare. Right? Total warfare means you strike at the ability of the enemy, to execute war. So you bomb their factories, or sometimes. Now, of course, these days, bomb the civilians; they're soft targets. But you bomb them, or somehow undermine their ability. You blockade them. You put them under siege. Different ways that you take away their power to wage war. You undercut them instead of just coming out face to face and fighting. You try these other ways. And these days you try to wipe out the internet and the GPS and everything like that. You try to make it more difficult for the enemy to fight. And so they do that. You see that with both Kamsa and Hiranyakashipu. They attack the brahmanas and the cows and the saintly persons because they see that's one of the pillars that keeps the Lord to be so powerful, because these people are worshiping the Lord also, but they're performing sacrifices which help the devas and make them stronger. So they take that away, then they think they have a better chance. You know, but of course, the Lord is all powerful. There's no hope for them. So they look at it that way, that the Lord has some, is in some ways concerned about his position. He has set up these alliances in this cooperative system, that allows him to stay in control. And so there's the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said there's some undertone of this in this discussion, because he's there, protecting he's dealing with his devotees, and he's again wiping out the evildoers, and so of course that situation isn't the case, and Krishna says that. He says these things. It's interesting. He says it sounds contradictory. He says he's equal to everybody, but he's inclined towards his devotees. And then it says, then it distinguishes by it says how one prapadyante, how one reacts to him or surrenders to him. Then he acts in a certain way. So again, that comes back to like, well, if you do the things he likes, he's on your side, and if you do the things he doesn't, then he's your enemy, right? So that somehow the Lord is acting like a conventional, human or demigod, a conventional being in this material world. I'm your friend if you do what I say, or you do things for me, or if I'm against you if you do something else. But the situation isn't really like that at all. The real situation there, the reason that Krishna is, because Krishna sees every single being. He says, there are my parts and parcels in the Gita. There are anshas, a little portion of me. And he says he's the well-wisher of everybody. So when you see Krishna acting, his actions always benefit everybody. That's just Krishna. He's able to make those kind of moves. He's like an expert chess player can, make a move that does multiple things at once, and then so Krishna can every move he makes is beneficial for everybody, so if he happens to kill the demons, right? I mean, they're picking up some serious bad karma with their actions, and causing so much trouble to other living beings. Their future is quite bleak, as it turns out. And so by killing him, at the very least, he relieves all of their sinful activities. He gives them a reset. So even there, he's doing some good, and by not allowing them to control the rest of the universe and keep terrorizing people, it does good for all the people, all the beings in the universe. And then but particularly he's acting in connection with his devotees. Prabhupada mentions this. Krishna says he comes, to do these things, to protect the devotees, and to establish the principles of religion, and to get rid of the evildoers. But Prabhupada mentions, I think in the purport in the Gita and also elsewhere, that Krishna, that part of killing the demons or the evildoers could be done by his agents quite easily. He could give the power to the demigods to do it. There's one lecture, he says, he could kill them, Prabhupada says, by just a strong wind. And so when he's coming, it's mentioned in the verse, the word lila is there, it's play. And so Krishna could manage everything in the universe just fine without direct participation. But he has another purpose by appearing directly and having like the battle that he just had here. It's for the benefit. I mean, it's for everybody, because people will hear about this. This is amazing battle, right? Even Shiva's on the other side, so it's like, wow, what's going to happen? So the devas are interested. It's something that can be, a tale that can be told throughout the ages, and people can hear about the Lord this way. So it's something that will continue to be benefit everybody in this world. We can hear about Krishna, and it's also a beautiful thing for his devotees, right? Because you see that Krishna always tries to amplify the drama. Krishna is all about drama. That Leela is like that. It's dramatic. It's supposed to absorb you and to draw you in. And so there's suspense, wow, what a battle this is going to be. This is like the most amazing battle. Here's Shiva. And many people think, Shiva's the supreme. So it's Shiva against Krishna, and then this Banasura, he's so powerful. Nobody can come close to him. So it's like this, it's epic, in truth. And so, so people are on the edge of their seats. How is it going to play out? Who's going to win? What's going to happen? And they both, Shiva and Krishna release their ultimate weapons. It's very dramatic and interesting. And so this is something that draws, the devas and anybody who hears it into it draws them in. It makes them, it gives them all the different feelings. They're nervous, they're happy, they're concerned, they're it's suspenseful. I mean, I don't know if you look at the history of, I mean, even not just television, but probably just literature, but especially if you look at how many, since the beginning of television, how many television series have followed the formula that your heroes get put every episode into some very tenuous situation where it looks like they're going to be killed or defeated in some way, and then somehow miraculously they pull it out. And it's going to happen every single time, but you keep watching every single time. And there's been, I mean, so many television series that it's this formula. It's going to happen. Okay, no matter who they are, they're gonna get captured, or they're gonna be put in a hopeless situation, and miraculously they escape. So this is, suspense is a great thing. Even if you know what's going to happen, something is going to happen here. So Krishna, when he fights Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu slips out of his paws. So he's captured, and they worry about when his brother Hiranyaksha was fighting, Varaha. He knocks the club out of Varaha's hands, and the demons are saying, "Oh no!" Or the devas are saying, "Oh no!" This is coming the time of day when the demons get more power. You have to kill him now. So he has them on the edge of their seats. This is Leela. It's meant to absorb people more and more into the moment. That's what drives the love. So drives the attachment and drives the absorption and the love. So when Krishna is doing this, that's really his main motive, is for his devotees and for his ability to have this be a story that will be told. Even now, we're still hearing about it, and it'll be heard, forever, because it's in the Bhagavatam. Keep hearing these stories. So he's doing it for his own, for the purpose of increasing the love between him and his devotees. That's that's who he is. There's a reason why the source of everything, of all existence, becomes a being. Right? This is really confusing to a lot of theologians, and it'll be something that causes people to really to think that the Supreme can't be a being, right? Because a being is, in one sense, is limited, right? Krishna has a specific form. Of course, he has so many. He has so many other forms simultaneously. He's tricky that way. But the form of Krishna, it's defined. And he can do anything with it. He can be anything. But he could be, he's also Ram. He's other things. There's other possibilities, and so he's a single being. And so it seems like, well, the source of everything would have more capability than that. It could produce so many different forms, and any individual form would be only expressing part of its potential. And so they think that the source of everything is higher than any particular being. But Krishna has become a being, in fact, many beings, uh, for a very important reason. First of all, because if you just have pure potential, what's the use? Right? What is the use of pure potential? Say someone has incredible musical ability, but never produces any music. Is it worthwhile? And then, of course, anything that they produce, is limited. Right? They could produce something more. But but the other thing is that Krishna has understood that there's something more powerful, than just complete oneness, where there's complete peace and complete satisfaction and a kind of joy that by becoming at least seemingly individuals, by becoming a being and having other beings, there's this capacity for divine love. And so when people can hear about Krishna, when they can see how he behaves, it's attractive. And when his devotees see him, it draws them in further and further. It's a dynamic process. The devotional relationship continues to intensify and deepen throughout eternity. That's how it's ever fresh. It says that the transcendental world is ever fresh because Krishna and his devotees are falling in love with each other continuously. Every time they meet, it's some wonderful thing is happening, and it's deepening the attachment on both sides, and then the separation causes it to also deepen in the absence. The absence makes the heart grow fonder, and then it comes together again. So it's a dynamic situation there, where the love and appreciation is continually increasing. It says that Krishna, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that at any one time, Krishna can understand the limits of his own bliss, and then he surpasses them immediately. So his ability to deepen his love and to understand it, are in constant competition, but the love is constantly moving ahead of his ability to comprehend. He's blowing his own mind, basically, is what it comes down. His pastimes are blowing his own mind continuously, and that's what's happening with the devotees. And so the reason that Krishna acts differently with different people, it's not just that the devotees praise Krishna and serve him, and so he feels obliged to them and likes them for that reason. He has love for everybody, but he respects people's wishes. And so people that don't want to deal with him, because to have a genuine relationship, you have to have a certain amount of freedom. You have to be able to choose to do that. So if he says, I'm the Lord, I created you, I can control you if I want. So then do what I say, come and worship me. That's one-sided. And Krishna can't get any satisfaction. It's easy. Krishna can create beings to worship him. There's nothing to that. That's even that sort of thing is less than perfect peace and satisfaction. Great sages, become Atmarama. They don't want people to worship them. What use is that? Right? So in order for it to be a genuine connection, people have to be able to choose that. And so that's why Krishna reacts to their attitudes even more than their actions. It says how one surrenders to him. So the demons, they don't think there is a source of everything. That's what it says in the Gita. They think that the world doesn't have a foundation, apratishta, and no controller. They think there may be, they think the God is currently, or Vishnu is currently the most powerful being, but they could potentially overcome him. And so they're trying to use their way to find the greatest happiness and satisfaction for themselves. And so Krishna allows that. He allows that. And he acts in a way that's most beneficial to them. So the ones he fights with are generally the ones that want to defeat him, that want to take his place. And so he satisfies their desire. He's quite kind. Yes, because he doesn't have to. He says in the Gita, it says, he's covered by his yoga maya. He doesn't appear to anybody. And he could kill them otherwise. but they want to fight with him. So even then he's very personal with them. Okay, I'll come and fight with you. And then they're benefited by that. And the other one. So we have this. We have the situation is that the relationship between Krishna and ourselves is always on from Krishna's side. He's not looking at the demons and so I don't like you anymore. You know, you guys are bad guys, but they don't want Krishna to exist. They don't want to interact with Krishna unless they're trying to defeat him. They just don't want him to be, and so he respects their free decision. And the same thing with us. It's not that Krishna appears in front of us, says, "Here, I'm the greatest. I'm the Lord of everything. I'm available. Prove to me that you have devotion for me, and maybe I'll accept you." Krishna is always, he's the one who's initiating the contact. All right. How did we find out that there's Krishna? Right. Through Krishna's actions and the actions of his devotees. He comes. He appeared as an avatar. He revealed himself. This is recorded in the Bhagavatam. He spoke the Gita. He came again as Lord Chaitanya. Right? He sees that, well, that didn't work very well. I showed my most secret pastimes. I showed my personal life. Krishna. This is like Krishna's personal life. In Vrindavan, he doesn't deal with the role of God really at all. That's left to his other avatars, other incarnations, other expansions. It's his pastimes of love. And so he's showing his private life. This is what I've reserved for me, and I'm giving it to you. And for the most part, people just said, "Oh, that's interesting," and didn't take notice, didn't take advantage. And so that was one of the reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. He says, "Look, I did that and nothing's happening. So I have to come and I have to show him what that means. I have to try again." So whenever Krishna comes, Lord Chaitanya comes in the next yuga, and then does serious outreach, shows how to access. This says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it breaks open the storehouse of love of God and tries to distribute it, and then chases after us. And so we have persons like Srila Prabhupada, in his old age, coming from India to the fallen world here, and and reaching out to us, sacrificing. He's trying to do that. And so it's Krishna is reaching out. He doesn't need us, not even a little bit. When he's got countless devotees in the spiritual world. Krishna's got Radharani and Yashoda, and all of his close friends and all the gopis. He's doing fine, but he sees us failing to reach our potential. He sees us suffering here. And so he says, I have to do something about that. So it's compassion. Krishna comes with compassion, not out of, hey, you guys are ignoring me. I'm the Supreme Lord. Get it together. And he's willing to help. The real problem is that we still got the doors closed. And if we feel either that we are, so I think some of the times we're used to in this world, you have to prove yourself. Mm-hmm. And so, you go kind of above and beyond to try to, present the best possible face and give the other person what they want. But what Krishna really wants, is our heart, is just a sincere desire to have a connection. That's really what he wants. He doesn't need anything. Doesn't need any of the service that we do. He appreciates any effort we make. It says that the lowest bar that you have to have for an action to be devotional service, that you have a favorable attitude towards Krishna. But Krishna wants it to be, done out of more than that. That's what he relishes. It's the love. You know, the action, of course, the actions, the love has to, needs to be expressed. It's something that causes actions to take place ultimately. So Krishna, what he really wants, is that for us to begin to want a connection. It's not that I'm unworthy of Krishna and therefore I have to improve myself, or that I think that I can earn Krishna by being a super devotee. It's bhakti is a gift coming from Krishna's heart, and it's really just up to us to receive it and to interact with it, to appreciate it. And that's how bhakti continues. So that's the thing that he's looking at. Then he changes his actions most with what is our attitude towards him, what is our desire for him. So somebody who can, who may be very, very sinful and doing all kinds of bad activities, if they can get the seed of devotional service, and those things don't matter anymore. The famous verse, I'm getting one last point before we stop here, that the 930, the famous verse in the Gita, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this refers to the persons who are doing really, really bad activities, devotees performing very badly. From his point of view, these are people who are just beginning the practice, have got real faith in Krishna, but still haven't overcome all of their bad habits. But because devotional service is ultimately purifying, and like it says in the next verse, soon they will change their behavior. So Krishna, you can see that he even to the worst people, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya offers his mercy. He's reaching out to all of them. So he's not angry with the people who are sinful. Yeah, if they get really out of hand, then he'll kill them and free them from their sins. So the interaction is completely different from ordinary humans. All right, thank you. I went a little bit further than I wanted to. So let's have comments and questions. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, temple room. The temple room is raised.
We can't hear you, temple room. Temple room, we cannot hear you. Hare Krishna. No, we can't see you. Krishna, Krishna.
They're unmuted, but they don't.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, say something. Can hear us. I have a question, Giri Govardhan Prabhu. We know from the scripture that Lord Shiva is the best devotee, one of the best Vaishnavas. And then his personal weapon, Shiva Jara, how come the weapon wasn't aware of who Krishna was? And how come Lord Brahma wasn't aware of who Krishna is? And how come Indra wasn't aware who Krishna was? Krishna is supreme God. How come so many top position devotees aren't aware of that?
Yeah, that's the fun of the Yoga Maya, because if Shiva and the Shiva Dwara and Brahma and Indra and all these others, didn't do what they did, then it wouldn't be nearly as much fun, because everybody in the world knows Shiva, and even many people think he's the Supreme Lord. And so, boy, is this battle something to anticipate? Who's going to win? What's going to happen? And when Indra comes, I mean, he comes to Vrindavan. He's not just bringing storms; he's bringing the Samvartaka clouds that destroy the universe. He's coming. He's loaded for bear. And everybody knows how powerful he is. So that makes the drama so much more interesting. And so little Yoga Maya covers them, And Indra gets a double dip, right? Later on, when Krishna wants to take the Parijata flower, it says that Indra thinks that he's been associating with these humans for so long that he's taken up their qualities, and now he's being controlled by his wife and doing something that's not appropriate. The Parijata flower shouldn't leave the heavenly planet. So he thinks he's defending righteousness, but it makes it fun, and people then also can see when they hear the pastimes later who's supreme. He answers the debate because they have a conflict, and especially with Govardhan, he's a little boy and he just elegantly just gives an umbrella and says he doesn't fight with him. He says, "Okay, no problem, do whatever you want to do. We're fine in here." So it adds to the adventure and the drama, and that's why it makes it
I have
better.
a question.
Yes.
So isn't it true that Yoga Maya also veils our understanding of who we are?
In the spiritual world, yeah, definitely. Especially, so here we're covered more. I mean, it depends how devotional we are. We're either under the control of Mahamaya, and that keeps us from understanding our spiritual identity. And then those who are, more deeply devotional, more deeply connected, and all those in the spiritual world, they are covered by Yoga Maya, because again, if we understood who Krishna was, and there's a Yoga Maya covering any place where there's a personal form of the Lord, basically. Because even Lord Vishnu has a level of sweetness that makes him approachable. But if we could appreciate the full power of Krishna, our minds would just be completely blown. We couldn't have any connection. We would just be, probably just evaporate. But in that case, we'd just be stunned. And so in order to have interaction, right, the Yoga Maya makes us be able to not know who Krishna is in his full power. We can understand him in his sweetness. And that's
right.
where interaction is.
And isn't the point of meditation and spiritual practice to peel away these layers of Maya?
Mahamaya, we want to do, but Yoga Maya, no, we don't want that. That's allowing us to have the connection. And so the Yoga Maya is deeply wanted. We don't want to see Krishna in his full opulence. We want to see Krishna in his sweetness. And Krishna is doing the same thing to himself, not with a Maya, but with his prema.
Okay, I think that's what my problem is. I don't understand what Yoga Maya is.
Yeah, that's one of the Lord's internal potency that allows his friends to think that that Krishna is their friend. That makes Krishna's mother think that he's her son, and she has to protect him. And so that so she once in a while, like when she looked into Krishna's mouth and saw all the universes, she was shocked. And then Yoga Maya covers it over, and she forgets all about that. And here's my little son. So the Yoga Maya is in the spiritual world, or in acts on highly advanced devotees. So
Ishwari Sundari Spirit Soul, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to appreciate you and the class. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. And you're leading a sage group, correct?
I am actually.
I'm in your group. I can't wait.
Oh, well, great. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Oh, great. Yeah, I got spaces open, so I'm glad you're one that joined. So great.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to join, go to wisdomofthesages.com and go to the Sage Group pages. He still has space. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Looking forward to meeting you more at that time, getting to know you more.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ishwari Sundari. Temple Room, did you take care of the Akashvani problem? Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, Prabhu, for the class, and I had a question according to Yoga Maya. Is because it's really interesting what you were saying, that even Vishnu has some kind of sweetness that makes him approachable, instead of like with Arjuna, when he got shown the universal form, he was not able to relate to it. And my question is the unlimited potency of Krishna and Yoga Maya, is it that we cannot understand the full potency of Krishna because we are under Maya, whether Yoga or Maha? Or is it that according to our constitution, our Tattva, Jiva Tattva, it's not in our capacity to fully understand him?
Well, of course, we never could. We would never be able to understand him fully because we're finite beings. But we definitely are able, would be able to perceive how powerful he is. I mean, that's, the Shantaras is largely that. You just appreciate the Aishvarya of the Lord, and it's just, wow, it's mind-blowing. And so you just, it's but you don't feel that you can really interact because the difference between you is so great, right? The Lord has unlimited power, and you're a finite being. So how can there be a real connection? Like we're less than a virus. If we it's like if we compare ourselves to a virus, the difference between us and a virus is much smaller than the difference between us and Krishna. And so in order for there to be actual personal interactions, then there has to be the sweetness of Krishna, the Madhurya has to come out, and the Yoga Maya has to block that, our ability to do that. And of course, that comes, how Yoga Maya acts with us depends on our desire for connection, And so the Yoga Maya that's most powerful is there in Vrindavan, where the residents, even if they know that Krishna is God, it doesn't change their way of seeing him. And they feel that he needs that, Mother Yashoda thinks that she needs to feed him, otherwise he'll die. And so it makes her devotion so much more intense. So this is what Krishna wants. He doesn't need people to say, "Oh, wow, you're so powerful." He knows that, and it's no big deal. But what he wants he wants to be a person. He wants to be a being that can have relationships, So you want that.
Thank you, Giri Govardhan Prabhu. So if Yoga Maya is a play, like you said, so then what is the reality? What's the ultimate reality? Is Yoga Maya a reality?
Yeah. I mean, it is, right? Because I mean, it allows the highest thing to happen. Right. I mean, I guess in one sense, who cares about reality when you can have the best thing, right? Who cares about reality? What if we're illusioned? Nobody cares. What if Krishna is Krishna, he says he's forgetful of himself by his own prema. So if that causes something better and something, the most wonderful thing possible, who cares about reality? That's
wow.
what I say.
You're blowing our minds.
Don't worry about it,
Thank you, Giri Govardhan Prabhu. Okay, Bhima Prabhu has his hand raised.
Haribo, fascinating subject and well spoken. I just wanted to reiterate, and I'm sure that you did several times, but just to reiterate, Yoga Maya, it doesn't allow, she allows. We always have to remember that Yoga Maya is direct expansion of Radharani. Am I not correct in that, Prabhu?
In Vrindavan, she's Purnamasi.
Okay, so Purnamasi, who is obviously an expansion of Radharani.
Of some type, yeah, because everything, all the
everything
Shaktis,
is an expansion.
all the Shaktis come from there. But Purnamasi though is her person there.
Right. So that being said, would we not consider the fact that the love and the lover, Radharani, and the love being Purnamasi's arrangement for the environment of exchange and Leela, that the love and the lover is greater than the beloved, Krishna?
Well, it says that prema, right? It's Krishna Karshani. So this is what Krishna wants to do. See, Krishna doesn't always just want to be the beloved and have everybody's love, but he wants to be able to love with all of his heart. So with the same urgency that the devotees wish to express their love for Krishna, they want to serve him, please him because of their love. It needs to be expressed in this with the same intensity. Krishna wants to please them. He feels indebted to them. He feels like he can't pay them. He feels that he owes them everything because that love is so beautiful, and so precious that it purchases him.
So to sum that up, to put that on a bumper sticker, she's got Krishna under her thumb.
Yeah, and he's got her under his. So it's a yeah. That's what it is. That's what real love means, right? The beloved.
Yeah.
You only want the beloved's happiness. So your own. Each one is the other's possession. Okay.
Thank you, Giri.
Sounds like darshan time has arrived.
Darshan time. Jai Shri Shri Radha Murlidhar, Shri Guru Chandra Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Prabhu Ki Jai. Thank you. Wonderful class. Mind-blowing and clear also. Thank you.
Clear, that's good. That's good. I'm glad it wasn't clear as mud.
Yeah. I noticed when I'm in class, I understand everything. As soon as I get out of the class, and then I forget, and we learn. But when I'm in class, I'm safe. So thank you, Giri Govardhan Prabhu, for creating this safe space for us, where everything is clear and mind-blowing and cool and exciting. Whew. Okay. Anyone wants to speak? Anyone wants to maybe reflect back a point that stuck out to them?
I have something that I struggle with.
Anandi, go ahead.
Yes. So I struggle with this concept because, in a certain chapter of the Gita, I forget which, they describe Krishna as, I am the water, I am the taste of water, I am the universe, the planets, the this, the that, I relate more to that than the Yoga Maya version of a little blue boy who is a cowherd boy. I don't know what my issue is, but I just relate to that much better. I can accept that.
Well, there's no
You know,
problem. There's no problem. Then you interact with Krishna in that way. There's no need to that. I mean, I think that will develop at some point, but you come to Krishna in the way that suits you, in the way that's attractive to you. And Krishna is quite happy with that. That's why he's giving these different ways to do it. So
right. I mean, I think
I don't see it as a problem at this point. You just
okay, because I thought it was a problem. I also I have to tell you guys, it blew my mind when I finally figured out that Jaya and Vijaya, had all these incarnations and all that trouble, as Hiranyakasha, etc. That was all the will of God. I mean, it was his
it
way.
was their desire, though. Actually, there's a story. There's a story behind the story that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions in the Madhurya Kadambini. I think he says that they were thinking that they know that the Lord likes to fight, but there's no fighting in the spiritual world. They don't do that up there. And he says, and in the material world, there's nobody who can fight with him. So they said, we could fight with him because we're spiritual beings here too. But our problem is that we only want to serve him. Our mood is to serve him. And to really fight, you have to have an adversarial understanding. And so so they had that. So they were left with a conundrum. They would like to serve him by fighting, but they don't have the right mood. And so the Lord, the Yoga Maya arranged for circumstance where they would be cursed and get that mood. So it actually was a devotional mood behind that caused them to do that.
That just blew my mind. And I have to say, the reason I thought I was a problem child was, when people emphasize, oh, Krishna is the person, and here I am relating to him as the universe, the moon, the stars, the taste of water, bliss, love, I don't feel like he's limited, not to it, like he's that and much more to me.
Yeah, I mean theologically, by becoming limited, seemingly limited, as a little child that needs his mother's care, there's a chance to develop something unique, which is this power of love. And so that there's I guess you don't have to grasp that now. You don't have to be worried about that now. But there is a reason why that's really cool. But for now, that's why Krishna reveals his different ways he exists. And so interact with him in the way that you're attracted. Why don't be, we have to be authentic. If you don't, okay, I'm going to try to be attracted to this little blue boy, but I'm not. Well, don't be attracted to the sun and the moon and like in the 11th chapter, 15th chapter, it says that he's digesting your food. He's keeping the earth from crumbling. So why not?
Right. Thank you.
Follow your heart. There's no
Thank
need.
you. I don't feel like such a, whatever the word is.
You're connected with Krishna. How's that bad? Come on.
Thank you.
Sometimes Krishna doesn't digest our food. We get indigestion.
Sometimes, yeah. He says, do you have to eat so much? And what are you eating?
Yeah. True. True.
Like, man, taking advantage of me down here.
Yeah. All right. Any final instructions for us, Giri Govardhan Prabhu? You already
No.
blew our minds enough.
Yeah, just look, people, we are so fortunate, and we don't realize it yet, but we, we're dearly loved by Krishna, and even though we have, so many reservations and things, we're loved by Krishna. Our future is so bright. We don't really appreciate it, but we should somehow at least theoretically understand that.
Our future is bright. Even Hiranyakashipu is a devotee.
Yes,
Nothing to worry about.
Yeah, it's only us. It's only us that keeps us from Krishna. Krishna is not waiting for us to prove ourselves or to be great or all this kind of stuff. He's like, I know you. He's ready. So,
Jai. Thank you. Okay, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Krishna everywhere, in your heart, in the moon, in the sky, in this class. In Giri Govardhan Prabhu's smile, Ki Jai. Okay, have a wonderful day. We love you. We need you. Come again tomorrow. Take care. Hare Krishna.